All right, guys, here we go. Today we are on April. I can't tell. That won't open. April something for sales data. We have a Lapras first edition PSA 10 because this was not a private listing and it was out on the open market for all to see. That sold for $2,164. Not a record price point, but it is back up to that $1,800, $2,000 mark. However, this was also in Australian dollars, so the whatever the Australian dollar equivalent was, it translates to 2,164 US dollars, and they tend to go for a little bit of a higher premium. Now we have a first edition PSA 10 Dragonite sold for $1,953. That is not quite that $2,000 mark yet, but I think that is a new record price point for that Dragonite from the fossil era. We have a Neo Destiny Houndoom, and Neo Discovery Houndoom first edition PSA 9 sold for $210. It's fantastic for a PSA 9. I'm not sure what the 10 is going to sell for. Several hundred, if not, probably like $700. We have a Neo Discovery Fortress first edition PSA 9. I'm sorry, I did not write down what that sold for. I think it was 60 something dollars, if I remember correctly, like 65, 66. We had a Neo Genesis Feraligatr number 4. So this is the one that is least rare? Less rare. Yes, this is less rare. And that, so first edition PSA 9 sold for $170, which is great. I love it when the starters of the second generation get premiums because I have those cards. So that is, second bid was $167, third bid was $140, so I had a lot of competition with there. And we also had I cannot read my handwriting today, I was a little bit drunk. Kangaskhan from the Jungle Set first edition PSA 9 sold for $86. Neo Genesis Meganium number 10. This is the least common one, so it's more rare. That's first edition PSA 9 sold for $232. Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Second bid was for $230. Third bid was for $160, and the fourth bid was me at $100. Now we had a Neo Genesis first edition PSA 9. Lugia first Neo Genesis first edition PSA 9 sold for $780. I have no idea what the 10 would sell for, but that 9 is nearing that $1,000 price point, which is super fantastic. Then we had a 9 sell for $780. Second bid was $770. Third bid was $710. Then we had a Venomoth first edition PSA 9 from the Jungle era as well, sold for $76. A Vileplume first edition PSA 9 sold for $85. See, a lot of these prices from a year prior, they're selling for 50 to 100% more. And so there's a lot of growth with these, a lot of growth. We had first edition PSA 9 Pista. I have no idea. Oh, a Pinsir first edition PSA 9 from the Jungle Set. That was a $89 sale as well. Electrode first edition PSA 9 sold for $89. All right, so a Neo Discovery Poliwrath. That was first edition PSA 8. Got a 46. So the 9 would probably sell anywhere from 90 to 100. If you can get something less than that for the 9, jump on it. That's a great price. We had a Magnemite from Neo Discovery, first edition PSA 9 Holo, sold for $35. Moving past that, we had another Poliwrath Neo Discovery. That also was a PSA 8 that sold for $36. Why that one sold for $36 and the other PSA 8 sold for $46? Probably because of the type of quality of the 8. One was probably a strong 8, the other was like okay 8. Moving on, we had a Blaine's Charizard. This one was not at auction. This was a price or best offer. $2,000 or best offer. What did he get? $1,500, $1,600? Probably around there. We had a Hero Heracross. Heracross is a first edition PSA 9, sold for $92. That PSA 10 was so hard to grade, so hard to get. I don't know how much that was. So I think the 9 is a little undervalued right now. I'm not sure how many PSA 9 copies there are out there. But if that Heracross is getting $92, you can bet that 10 is going to be several hundred, high hundreds. We have a Feraligatr, first edition PSA 9. This is the more rare one, and this one only got 128. So I thought that was a little weird. The one that is harder to find sold for less than the one that's more common, but that's what the price is. Maybe it's the artwork, maybe it's a type of Feraligatr just like, we like this artwork better. I don't know. I had a Steelix, first edition PSA 9, sold for $54, Neo Genesis. Nice job. A Neo Genesis Skarmory First Edition PSA 9 sold for $56, and a Neo Genesis Togetic PSA 9 sold for $62. Makes sense because that 10 sells for between 300 and 400. So the 62, yeah, so that 10 is selling for about 5 times what the 9 is selling for. So that makes sense. We had a Rockets Moltres from Gym Heroes. First edition PSA 9 sold for $202. Record price point for the 9. I don't think the 10 is worth even 600. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't seen one of those sales in a while, so maybe it's not as common. I haven't checked the other listings, see if one's even on the market. But that a 9 got a 202, that means that 10 should get minimum $500, if not $600. Like I said, lower end probably should be $600, but again, sometimes these things are a little fugazi. Now we have a Rocket. What does this say? Arbok? I really can't tell. I'm sorry, guys. PSA 9, 20, whatever it was, a Rocket something, PSA 9, first edition sold for $27. Had another Blaine's Charizard. So first edition, it was a PSA 6, and this one was hard to gauge because it sold for $213. But I don't think that's the right price for the 6. I want to say these people overpaid for it, but the first bid was, the one that won was $213. The second bid was $211. The third bid was $200. So, we have 3 bids over $200 for a PSA 6, which is heckin' insane. Now, either the 10 is undervalued, which is $1,600, $1,800, whatever that is. Either that's undervalued, and that should be higher, or these, I don't know, because fourth bid is $175, fifth bid is $150, because Charizard, even the base edition Charizard, that kind of follows the rule of if that sells for $7,300 and the 10 sells for 5 to 8 times what the 9 is selling for, that follows the rule also. That also seems to follow the rule with the Rocket Zard, the Dark Charizard from Team Rocket, and that sells for maybe $1,100. The 9 sells for about $300. So it's at the lower end. Again, the upper end will be 8 times. The lower end will be 3 times. But if a 6 is selling for $213, and we're going after a 9, usually the 8 will go for half of what the 9 is. So if a 9 Charizard goes for $600, then half the 9 will go for $300. Or I'm sorry, the 8 will go for $300, and then the 7 go for the 7 maybe should be $213. If the 8 gets $300, fair. Maybe the 7 gets $200, but I don't know what these people bought it for. Maybe they bought it because the front looked really good. The front looked amazing. It was off center, but there was whitening and edge wear on the back, and the front looked good. So maybe they got it for a binder set, but I understand that you want to know it's a good quality Charizard or a decent quality Charizard, and if you buy a raw copy, there's a chance that let's say you buy $150 for a raw copy first edition PSA or first edition Blaine's Charizard. That raw copy, maybe you spend between $100-200 for it, and it has a dent in it that you don't see, or it has something that you don't see, and you don't want that for a binder set. You just want it to look nice, even if the back is edge wear. This is something that I thought was interesting, because if someone's getting this for a binder set, they're going to pay a premium so that they know that there is no dents, there's no anything in there. It's just all the edge wear on the back, and that's why they're getting it. Only reason I could think of. New price point for the 6. So, good for you. Sorry that went off on a bit of a tangent there. Moving on, I'm sorry I can't read any of these. I am a horrible, horrible person. We had a Rockets Mewtwo from Gym Challenge. That is first edition PSA 9, sold for $132. Very nice. I'm not sure what the 10 would sell for. Maybe $400, maybe $450. I don't know. We're moving on past that to a Giovanni first edition PSA 9. So from the Gym Challenge set, there's 2 Giovannis. There's one that's just, I think, number 104, and that's just a trainer card, and it's rare, and it's Giovanni. It's just non-holo. The holo version, it's either number 17, 18, 19, or 20. I forget which one. The Giovanni, the hollow version. Back like a year and a half ago, you could get the PSA 10 version in first edition for under $70. Now the 9 is selling for $103. Over $100. The second bid was 101, third bid was 72, so that record price point for the 9. And I haven't seen what the 10 has gone for. I haven't even checked if there's listings. One of you that's watching this video can say, like, well, if this 9's going for 103 and I see a 10 listed for 150, jump on top of that, because that's what I'm doing as soon as I get off this phone and I go to the bathroom. We had a Rocket Zapdos, first edition PSA 4, $36. Again, this is probably someone probably wanted it just because it looks good, maybe to crack the case, put it in a binder, or some people don't really care about when they do collections, and they don't care about the grade, they just want it authenticated, or they just want it saying, like, I just like this card, and it's a PSA version. I call them Frankenstein collections. You'll have one PSA 10, one PSA 4, one PSA 9, PSA 7. Maybe that's what they were doing. People just like, I just got a PSA, and it's a good quality card. And it is beautiful artwork. Maybe all the damage is on the back. Maybe a dent on the back that you don't see in the front. Either way, the artwork in general is just very aesthetically pleasing. So I definitely understand I understand buying a low grade for $36. That's fine if you just want to look at the artwork. But $213 for that Charizard. Sorry. Okay, so we have a Erica's Venusaur. First edition PSA 9 sold for $178. Record price point. I told you this was going up. I knew it is. That 200 mark is right around the corner. That's why I've been buying up the 9s at 130, because this is going to happen. I knew it. Second bid was 175. Third bid was 175. Fourth bid was 163. The fifth bid was 157. So we have 3 bids that would have been record price points: 75, 75, and 178. 163, I'm not sure if that would have been a record price point or not. All right, so this one, the autographs are interesting. I'm not 100% sure how to gauge them. So we have a Mitsuhiro Arita signed Japanese base set Charizard, which I think sells for like $600 normally. Around there. The first edition PSA 10, that copy without the signature goes for around $650. The autographed one, now it got an Auto 9, that autograph, sold for $1,324. Second bid was $1,299. Third bid was $1,278. Fourth bid was $1,203. So right there, I'm saying, like, you know what? Okay, about 2 times what the 9, the 10 will sell for 2 times what the 9 was. I'm sorry, the autograph will sell for 2 times. If it's mint condition, first edition PSA 10, whatever that price point is, if Arita signs it, it'll be double. That's what I'm getting from this price point. Moving on, we had a Dark Blastoise, first edition PSA 9, which the most recent one that sold was for $202. Hollow, first edition PSA 9. Now, with Arita's signature, autograph got a 9, Auto 9, that sold for $455. Oh, I'm sorry, $485. So the $485, second bid was $480, third bid was $420, nice, and the fourth bid was $335. So the fact that got a little more than, let's say, like 2.25, 2.25 times what the original got without the autograph, I'm starting to see a pattern here. The autograph will probably get double. Again, this is just for Arita, not including Ken Sugimori, which that's probably 10, 20, 50 times what. It's so hard to tell because that autograph is so rare. We had a Fossil Raichu, first edition PSA 9, which sells for about $100, $105. Was also autographed, but the autograph it just said authenticated. Didn't say Auto 9, didn't say Auto whatever. The autograph was authenticated by PSA for Arita. And this one sold for $455. I'm sorry, the Dark Raichu sells for $100. I'm not 100% sure what the first edition PSA 9 Fossil Raichu sells for, but this one got $455. I'm sorry, $485. Second bid was $450, so very similar to the Dark Charizard. Third bid was $435, and the fourth bid was $289. So that was interesting to see. And then we also had a Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, first edition PSA 9, sold for $86. Cool. So if that sold for $86, I think the 10 should be selling for about $230. It hasn't. I've gotten it recently for like $150. which is a great price. So if anyone sees any of that, by all means, go. So that is the video for today. I hope this helped in being able to try to gauge some price points and where to make investments. Please like and subscribe and comment. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Please support this page by going to Patreon. Even $1 a month helps. Star Fox. Anything you guys need, let me know. All right? Bye.